It was a great weekend for the Premier League's elite, while it was another one that made Roy Hodgson wonder why he packed in watching daytime telly to manage Crystal Palace. So let's take a look at this week's Premier League heroes and villains. The first hero of the week is Christian Eriksen. A record breaker, Christian Eriksen wrote his name into Premier League legend on Saturday by scoring in Tottenham's 3-2 win over West Ham, with his goal making him the highest scoring Dane in Premier League history, moving back Arsenal hero Nicklas Bendtner in the rankings. An incredible achievement, and I don't think anyone ever thought that Lord Bendtner's record could be broken, but it has been. Well done, Christian. Our next more slightly serious hero is Alvaro Morata. We've toyed with including the Spaniard for the past few weeks now, only to decide against it, but we couldn't ignore Morata anymore after his striker masterclass at Stoke on Saturday. The summer signing scored a sensational hat-trick in Chelsea's 4-0 thrashing of Mark Hughes' side, showing off all sides of his game, as he took his tally for the season to 6, joining Romelu Lukaku and Sergio Aguero at the top of the goalscorers charts. In a week in which Diego Costa's departure from Stamford Bridge was officially confirmed, Chelsea fans won't be worrying about the departure of their former hero, rather salivating at the thought of a title bid with a more complete striker in Alvaro Morata leading the charge. Over to the villains, and we've got Swansea City. They were resilient at the back last week against Tottenham at Wembley, but that all turned to mush when they hosted Watford at the Liberty Stadium, in a game in which Paul Clement will feel they could have got something from. Both of Watford's goals came from individual errors, with Wilfried Bony giving the ball away for Andrea Gray's opener, then Alfie Mawson's frighteningly limp challenge in the 90th minute, allowing Richarlison to score the winner. The Swans need to toughen up the back and cut out the daft mistakes, otherwise it's another relegation battle for the Welsh club, and there's no Gylfi Sigurdsson this year to drag them out of the doldrums. Our next hero is OUMAR NIASSE. Fair play to OUMAR NIASSE. The lad was told he wasn't going to be in Ronald Koeman's plans when he first arrived as manager, and now a year later, he's the Dutchman's saviour, scoring twice to help the Toffees come from behind to beat Bournemouth. Everton need a goal scorer now that Lukaku is gone, and NIASSE is the first to really state a claim, with his first goal a fantastic finish after a brilliant through ball from Tom Davies. Lukaku who, am I right? No, they definitely still miss the Belgian, but well done to NIASSE. The next villain is Jose Mourinho. A slightly tongue-in-cheek inclusion, but Mourinho got himself in trouble during stoppage time at St Mary's, wandering onto the pitch as Southampton went in search of an equaliser. It wasn't quite like when he actively ran on the pitch and tackled Ollie Mers in a charity game, but Craig Pawson had to send Mourinho to the stands for wandering so far out of his technical area. The special one showed exactly what he thought of his dismissal, spending most of his time shaking the hands of every member of the Southampton coaching team rather than heading to the stands. If you hadn't noticed, we're slightly short of villains this week. Over to the heroes, and we've got Manchester City. We could have singled out Leroy Sané for his display at the Etihad on Saturday, scoring twice and providing an assist for Raheem Sterling, or we could have went with Fabian Delph, who put the icing on the cake with the goal of the day, bending the ball into the top corner past a desperate Wayne Hennessy. But we're just going for Man City on a whole, who were in ominous form against Crystal Palace, knocking 5 past them to continue their free scoring form, which is keeping them at the top of the table. Pep Guardiola's side are a terrifying prospect right now, but they face a much tougher task next week when they head to Stamford Bridge. The next villain is RAJIV van La Parra. The Dutch diving team has a new member who could be making a splash at the Olympic Games because RAJIV van La Parra's dive against Burnley was medal worthy. The Dutch winger did his best to con the referee and buy his team a penalty, but Chris Kavanagh was having none of it and correctly booked the fallen terrier. As per, the pundits were calling for Van La Parra to be banned by the diving committee, once again ignoring the rules of the diving committee, who can only retrospectively ban players who gain an advantage from their dive. So Van La Parra won't be suspended, but will just have a yellow card to his name and egg on his face. Back to the heroes, and we've got PHILIPPE Coutinho. The little magician seemed all but certain to leave Anfield for Barcelona in the summer, but Liverpool remained firm on their stance and refused to sell Coutinho, meaning they could potentially have a very unhappy player on the books for at least the next few months, which could disrupt Jurgen Klopp's squad. The German is reintegrating Coutinho back into the side, and the Brazilian showed his worth on Saturday evening, providing the assist for Mo Salah before scoring a trademark free kick to get his first Liverpool goal of the season and back in at the hearts of the Merseyside faithful. With Coutinho back at it, Liverpool are even stronger going forward. It's just a shame about the defence really. And back to the villains, and we've got Simon Mignolet. Liverpool and goalkeepers has been a recipe for disaster for a few years now and is showing no signs of stopping this season as Loris Karius and Simon Mignolet battle it out to be Jurgen Klopp's second choice because clearly neither of them want to be the number one keeper. Mignolet flapped it across for Leicester's first goal, then absolutely wiped out Jamie Vardy to give the Foxes a penalty with the score 3-2 to Liverpool. But that brings us to our final hero, Simon Mignolet. The Belgian made up for his error, standing tall at Jamie Vardy's penalty and saving his powerful strike, keeping the score 3-2 and winning the Reds a game that it looked like they were going to throw away. Clearly Mignolet had done his homework on Vardy, who has a habit of smashing his penalties down the middle, much to the delight of Match of the Day and Goals on Sunday, who both wanted to take credit for Mignolet's save. And finally, our last villain of the week is Tomer Hemed. The striker was Brighton's hero against Newcastle, scoring the only goal of the game, but he was involved in an unsavoury moment towards the end of the game, clearly stamping on Newcastle fullback DeAndre Yedlin. Some people believe the incident was merely an accidental collision, but considering the pair clashed earlier on in the game when Hemed took issue with an aerial challenge from the American, it seemed like Hemed knew exactly what he was doing when he came down on the calf of Yedlin. Should Hemed be banned for the incident? Let us know your thoughts. So those are this week's Premier League heroes and villains. Let us know yours in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.